Monte. Well, it's been yet another big week in the world of professional cycling. We've had the US Pro Challenge, which in its third year is quickly giving the Tour of California a run for its money as the biggest race over in the US. We've had the Trophée Feminin, we've had the Vattenfall Classics one-day race, and of course here in Spain, the Tour of Spain has kicked off. And we've been bringing you a lot of the action from behind the scenes with rider diaries. A video about the team time trial, and we're just about to go through the results now. And on site for the Vuelta, which started on Saturday with a 27.4 kilometre team time trial. And here are our predictions for that stage before it started. It is a slightly more difficult course than the one we saw in this year's Tour de France, but I'm still expecting average speeds in the region of 55 kilometres per hour from the best teams. My favourites are Astana and Movistar, and in the end it was Astana who were the best of the teams, coming across the line in 29 minutes and 59 seconds for an average speed of 54.8 kilometres per hour. And first of that team was Jan Brajkovic, who in doing so took the majority of the jerseys. The following day saw the first of the uphill battles in this year's race, and it was Nicolas Roche of Saxo Bank Tinkoff who took his maiden Grand Tour stage victory, and along with it the lead in the King of the Mountains, the point and the combinations classification. We caught up with him the day after to find out what it means to him to be so successful so early on in this race.
Yeah, it was great. It clears all the frustration away. You know, I was chasing that Grand Tour stage win for years now, and it finally worked, and I was really delighted.
It seems like it's far from over for your team in this race. 4 very strong riders in GC. How do you decide what you're going to do over the next 3 weeks in terms of tactics?
I think for now the race is going to decide for us, and you know, I think that the tactics will really kick in probably in the 3rd week, but for now it's all a question of saving most of this as much as possible for the last 3rd week, which is the hardest.
Stage 3 saw yet another uphill finish, something I think we can get used to in this year's race. And it was the veteran Chris Horner of Radio Shack who took the stage victory, the oldest rider ever to do that in a Grand Tour, and he also went into the race lead. 7-day US Pro Challenge finished in Denver on Sunday. There were 2 riders who stole the show. TJ Van Garderen was dominant not only in the climbs but especially in the time trial and took a convincing victory on the general classification, whilst Peter Sagan of Cannondale is officially back to his best form. He took 4 stages without seemingly even breaking into a sweat. The race was also marked by a distinct lack of form from the recent Tour de France victor Chris Froome of Sky Pro Cycling. He failed to finish on the last day, but he and his coach Tim Kerrison still believe he can be on top form for the World Championships, which take place in 5 weeks' time in Florence. What do you think? Can he get back to the form he had at the Tour de France? You can let us know your thoughts in the comments section down below. The 5-day, 6-stage Trophée Feminin started on Saturday. There was one lady who took both of the first 2 stages. Can you guess who it was? Yes, of course, it was Marianne Vos. She followed that up quickly with a 2nd place on stage 3 behind Chulkova of Rusvelo, and the following day took yet another stage victory. As we go and record this, 4th stage was also won by Marianne Vos, and as we record this, she's also leading the general classification. The race concludes with an 88 kilometre road stage on Wednesday. The Vattenfall Classics is one of the 8 big one-day races on the men's calendar. Taking place in Germany, in Hamburg, it typically favours the sprinters, and so there was one clear favourite before the race started, Andre Griepel of Lotto Bersel. However, it was his compatriot John Degenkolb of Argos Shimano who launched his sprint with 220 metres to go, and nobody was able to come around him. The UCI presidential campaign continues to rumble along, and Brian Cookson recently visited Australia to try and drum up support and also to talk on various topics. A few days later, the president of Cycling Australia, Klaus Muller, declared their support for Cookson in the forthcoming elections.
This is my Specialized Crux commuter bike.
Now, you might have seen in last week's news show that we kicked off our new feature, Subscribers Bike of the Week. We gave the example of our new presenter, Tom Last. Well, out of the last 7 days, this one was our favourite.
Carbon fibre, Ducacia double-butted aluminium frame, and Ultegra is kitted out all the way through.
Now, yesterday we managed to get ourselves a set of these. You might recognise them, asymmetric chain rings. Well, a set of these, you might recognise them, asymmetric chainrings. It's what Chris Froome and Bradley Wiggins the year before him used on their bikes en route to Tour de France victory, and of course Bradley Wiggins also used them to win the Olympic time trial in London in 2012. Well, with this latest model, the company has made some dramatic improvements in both the stiffness of the rings and also in how easy it is to shift gears, something which was a little bit of a problem with the first model. So expect to see Chris Froome and some of his Team Sky colleagues using these chainrings in the near future. Tweet of the week this week comes from David Miller, who around about a year ago christened the Team Sky bus the Death Star. Well, Miller's been over with Team Sky over in the US Pro Challenge, and they've had to hire a Winnebago. Miller took a picture of it and tweeted this: "The American Death Star, aka El Monte." Well, as you can see, the sun is now setting behind me, and that's because we've been very busy filming our rider diaries. It has absolutely nothing to do with me fluffing my lines up. In any other country, we'd be about to get dinner now, but as it is, we've still got a couple of hours to wait. That's all from our new show this week. Join us at the same time next week, where we've got plenty more from the world of cycling. El Monte.
Yeah, it's my first Vuelta. I did 2 times the Giro and 1 time the Tour. So this is the last of the 3 big races.
I'm kind of a sprinter.